right, guys, we are kicking off election season for 2023 with our Meet the Candidate series of videos. Tonight, we are going to be taking questions from the chat, and our candidate is Leney McNac Jr. So if you have a question for him, he is running in Creek District C-Day on National Council. With that being said, Mr. McNac, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So I guess to start off with, let's just kind of tell me why you're running and what your objectives for your campaign are.
I'm running just as I guess kind of a new face in the council. I've been on the JOM for the DPU school for about 4 years now. Just kind of meeting or trying to figure out the needs and stuff of like the parents and on the school level, and I've been working a lot with the local level. I've been to the state meetings and the national meetings. I just feel like it's time for me to step up and come out and try to support the tribe on a bigger level now.
Okay.
I'm trying to come in and reach as many people as I possibly can. Just going out to, I guess, the community centers and actually, getting to know the people during my time as council. If not, if not before, I'm going to come out and just try to get as many events to meet as many people as possible, because I know a lot of people don't know me.
Right. So along those lines, what do you think are the biggest issues at the tribe right now, and do you have some legislative solutions to those issues?
Right now, I don't know a lot of the, I guess, legislative issues. That's why I want to come in and actually go to the community centers to actually hear what the meetings and the people have got to say. I want to be a bigger voice for those people, and I don't want to be caught so much within the, I guess, the political part of it that's already going on. I want to see what the problems, what the problems are at the local levels around all the, around all the communities. That way we can address those issues and bring them up as they come. I know people have got other concerns and they've already got stuff that have been standing, but me as a new person coming in, as only being on the local, I guess, tier, so to say, I'd like to, just, I'm going to learn as I go, and just try to figure out what everybody needs.
Okay.
And figure out how to move best forward on that.
I see. We've had a question pop up here, and I want to let all the viewers know, if you have a question for Mr. McNac, go ahead and pop it in the chat. T.Y. Prohl is asking, do you support codifying the right of citizens to organize, join, and collectively bargain in labor unions under tribal law and the Mvskoke Constitution?
What would be the benefit of a union within the tribe? This is a right-to-work state, as far as I know. Even if you had a union, I'm not sure if the tribe would actually, if they would do as like they do on the state level. They either hire within or without the union. So I don't know how that would work.
Okay. T.Y. Prohl has a follow-up question. He says, do you support a Tribal Open Records Act and Open Meetings Act to provide more transparency and open government?
As far as I know, the meetings I thought you were aren't you able to listen to those meetings, or aren't you able to join those meetings?
Well, currently, yes, unless the council goes into executive session, and then people aren't allowed to see what's in the executive session.
Okay. Are those issues or bigger what hand that needs to be, that I don't know how that works, really.
Okay, all right. While we're waiting on some more questions to come in here to the chat, and if you guys have them, go ahead and post them. So from your perspective as running against the incumbent here, could you kind of compare and contrast yourself against the incumbent, who is Joseph Hicks?
I don't know the guy personally. I don't. I really. I don't know if I could compare myself to him. I mean, he's got the 4 years in. I don't have that. He's a little seasoned. I guess on a higher level than I am, and I don't want to put any. I don't know how to compare myself with him. I just know that I want to come in and do as best job as within my power that I can.
Okay. Is there anything about your platform that we haven't talked about already that you'd like to get in? Maybe an issue or anything that we haven't talked about?
I just want to, I guess my platform, I talk about unity. I want like to do some kind of like where the tribal, where the communities actually get together, outside of the community meeting, like a northern, like up here, let's say Tulsa and like a Bristow and like a Glenpool, have them have one big meeting, or not a meeting, but like a get together, so the citizens can reach out to one another and talk, they talk about their issues and stuff, or if they have issues, or just hang out, or even, Tulsa go down south, Topufusky, or, other communities, just reach out to other communities. That way we can be involved with one another.
Okay. We've had a question pop up in here, and Big Rob, who asked the question, I'm going to try to synthesize your question there because it's kind of vague, so bear with me. But what it looks like you're asking about is, where do you stand on the Freedmen issue? I don't know if you've followed the Freedmen case that's going through the tribal court, Freedmen citizenship in the tribe. Where do you stand on that issue?
The Freedmen issues. I really don't, like I said, I've not actually been on, I guess it's kind of embarrassing that I haven't been on, I haven't been in a lot of the issues, or, involved myself with a lot of issues as of, late. This was kind of a decision that to run came, almost, within the last month, to decide to try to step up and, be a better leader than, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And your last name is McNac. Do you want to talk about, are you, the McNac is a pretty big name in the tribe. Do you want to name drop anybody or your grounds or anything like that?
Well, my ceremonial ground, is Duck Creek. McNac, only McNac is my grandfather was Joe. His sister was Joanne. I honestly, I don't know my dad's full side of the family. I know my grandmother, like his mother's side, but I didn't get to meet or hang out with his father's side of the family. So I grew up closely with the Skeeter family.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where, I hung out mainly. I've talked to Jamie. I haven't met Amos yet. We live right outside of Bristow, and everybody asks me all the time, are you related to them? And I'm about 95%, about 99% sure we are, but I've not got to, actually find that out for sure.
Yeah, well, that was my question is, are you related to Amos? Because everybody knows Amos, so, and he's a good guy.
I heard he's a great guy, everything I hear was great about him. The family's been good, and, and I know that, I know he was a judge, for a while. The older McNac was a judge for a while when I had some pretty big shoes to come in and, keep that namesake up.
Yep. Well, we had a question pop up here. Savannah Chamberlain asks, what are your biggest priorities if elected?
Biggest priorities right now, it would be, to get out and actually, reach out to people, try to figure out more things to do with the elders, even the elders that aren't able to get out, actually get out to those people and see what help, or, even if you have to go out to their house, actually physically go out and visit them and see them to figure out, to see what they need to get around, or, just find out what the elders' kind of issues or concerns would be. And then also I want to I want to get involved with more youth services. I mean, since I've been involved with JOM at the school, I've been vice chair at the school for the past 4 years. Like I said, I'd like to get in. Let other people, the parents, know. That there are programs, that allow your kid, to do a lot of stuff within the school, outside of the school. They have a lot of youth services out there. Another thing I want to get into also is that another part of it would be reintegration as well. Um, that's reintegration is really hard, for a lot of people. And I would just like, just to try to help, or figure out any way I could help within, doing that as well. They get forgotten, people that are trying to reintegrate within the system and society and everything. And I would just like to, let them know that, we are here for them.
Awesome. All right, great. I want to remind everybody again, we've asked some questions. If you have a question, pop it into the chat there. Mr. McNac, you stated that you kind of like this is a last minute decision to run, in the past month. What triggered that for you? Like, what were you like, I've got to run in this race?
I was approached a few years ago to run, and I didn't put no mind into it. I thought they were just joking, and then again, it was brought to my attention, that I would be a great person to help, bring in, a new era in the tribe. It just we need new strong leaders. You know what I mean? We need some more youth on the council. I'm not saying I'm super young, but I'm not saying there's a lot of wisdom on the council right now, but they need to, the wisdom could be, handed down, and then bring in a new generation of, a voice for the people, for the tribe.
Gotcha. We're at about 12 minutes here. I don't see any questions popping up in the chat. Is there anything that we haven't discussed that you think is important? I know I asked you that kind of earlier, and you talked about some of those issues. I guess I could ask you, what are your opinions about the current Oklahoma state government, how it's being led as far as STIT with our tax compacts and our tobacco compacts and the casino agreements and things, and those? What's your opinion on that process, and what could be done to change it if you were elected to the legislature?
Honestly, Stitt's a hard person to get, that the tribes that I know has had a hard time trying to get along with. That's not just the Creek Nation. It's also, Cherokees and Choctaws, Chickasaws, all the tribes around the state, as well. He doesn't play well, as far as from what I understand and from what we hear, what's being, every time they've reached out to him, he's had his door shut. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And as a state, we're a sovereign nation, but we have our tribal lands as well, and all these governing houses are actually, they're within our reservation. And I don't understand. What I don't get is how they can turn their nose up at something like that. They wanted to be native when they wanted to get voted in, but once they got voted in, they're not. They just turned their back on it all.
Yeah,
it's just like they wanted to vote. And him and Mark Wayne Mullins, the same thing. He's trying to do all he can. Just to distance himself from it now.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you for coming on today. I think, is there anything you'd like to add before we wrap up today?
No. I just, I want to encourage everybody to get out there and sign up. If you're not registered to vote, please go register. I would, ask for your support. If you're not supporting me, go support somebody, because your vote does matter. I'd say good luck to all the other candidates as well that I'm running against and with. Like I said, just if you don't vote for me, or you don't, whoever you support, that's your opinion, that's your deal. Just please get out and vote, because your vote does matter within our tribe. It's
Absolutely.
not, like it is out there on the bigger level, out there within the U.S. government, because your vote does matter here.
Absolutely.
And your voice does matter, and that's what I'm here is to step up and reach your concerns and voice your concerns as well.
Yeah, and I would echo everything you're saying there, sir. Everybody needs to get out and vote, and your vote does have a tremendous impact at the tribe. We've had a question pop up. How do you feel about education department and where you can... Oh, sorry, guys. This thing is... I got to scroll it around because I can't see where you can plug in. So it sounds like Houston Perez is asking about your opinion on the education department and where you plug in.
On the education department, the tribe has done a tremendous job with education for the youth and as well as higher ed. They've got a lot of resources and stuff, and I want to get further in depth and all that stuff, and it's not only the resources for that, it's following up after school as well. They've got the new lineman stuff, that I don't think a lot of people know about. There's not a lot of people that go to the community meetings where all this stuff is actually handed out and told about. I also sit on the Bristow board as well. So I get, like I said, I'm here at a local level, but, as plugging in, I just want to reach out and let everybody know, that these resources are available, to them, for their children, for them as well. There's really a lot that, people don't know about, because these community meetings, like I said, they're important to go to. People blow them off and, just don't have time for them, but it's literally an hour out of your evening. You can stop in on your way home from work or whatnot, or you can fly in from work. We always fly in by the seat of our pants, just trying to get in to make sure, we're at the meetings as much as we, possibly can, because there's a lot of information that does come through the community centers.
Okay. Houston Perez has posted another question here. As a representative of Creek District, what will set you apart from the other candidates?
What will set me apart is I've got a drive to actually help the citizens, bring a voice to the citizens. I will work for the citizens, and just, I will be the higher voice for them, and I will actually work extra hard. I've got a full-time job as well, during the day, but you can reach me at any time of the day. I actually chat with a person right now, before, I've spoke to her on many occasions, and she reaches out to me, and she could probably contest that I do actually reach. I will get back with you, because being another voice for the citizens, they are, you guys are important to me. Like I said, I want to do more than what I have for your children, on the JOM level, but I'd like to reach out, get a bigger audience and try to put myself out there that way, and just I will be there for you.
Okay. Big Rob has posted a couple of things in here, but I think he's asking me, can you vote if you're a felon? I don't know if you can. I think you can, Big Rob. Can you run if you're a felon? No, you can't run if you're a felon. Well, or I think it's within 10 years of running. So I think if it's past 10 years, you can run. All of that stuff, though, is on the election board's website, on the Mvskoke Creek Nation website, if you want to go check right there and see what the status of that stuff is. That wasn't a question for you, Mr. McNac. That was He was just asking. Oh, TY.
No, that actually, you can run, as long it's the date that you file to run is within the 10 years of the filing date of your felony.
Yes. TY Pearls posted another question here. Do you support making Council Oak Park in Tulsa a National Historic Landmark?
I was trying to read that earlier about what is Council Park earlier. I didn't get a chance to. I drive a truck, and I try to, in between stops, I try to read up on what's going on. Let me read back up on that, and I will actually get back with you. You can message me, and I will speak to you privately about that if you would like, my candidate page.
Okay. He's posted another question after that. Do you feel our disaster and hazard mitigation resources are adequate to address the climate crisis?
climate crisis as in the heat or like the water or which climate? You know
Well,
what I mean?
I don't
Like,
want to speak for
is there
TY Pearl,
specific?
but I think what he's talking about is kind of, you know, how we had those bad storms in the Tulsa area, and the
Right.
tribe had some money to help people that lost their provisions that in their refrigerators and things like that. I think that's what he's asking about, but I'm sure he'll elaborate in there. But
I think that. Oh, I
oh,
think the
go ahead.
tribe. I think the tribe does what they can when they can with the funds that they do have, and I know they try to get as much as they possibly they can to the family and household that is in need. Um, but there's people that also try to take advantage of that too. That if they weren't in the situation where nothing happened, you know what I mean? There are people that try to take advantage of those services that don't need the services, but if you actually need it, I mean, I think they do a great job. I think the money that they gave out was more than enough for a week's worth of food.
Okay. All right. I don't see any questions popping up right now. I do want to tell everybody we are at 21 minutes. I'm going to try to keep all of these under 31 or 30 minutes as what we normally do from last year and the year before. So if you have any questions, better get them in soon, because at probably about the 25-minute mark, 26-minute mark, I'm going to stop taking questions and wrap up. With that being said, what do you think? Do you think the tribe is allocating its casino resources, the revenue from the casinos, adequately? Do citizens need to see more help, or are they getting enough, in your opinion?
I don't, me personally, I don't know how the money or what percentage comes back to the tribe from the casinos. I know there's a bigger owner than just the tribe. I know there's a guy that actually, or as far as I knew, when the Cherokee's casino was brought, was an actual guy from Las Vegas that had 6 casinos in Vegas, and he just used the Cherokee Nation as a place to put a casino here in Oklahoma. But I don't know how that works within the Creek Nation. Um, I can get back in. I don't personally know on what percentage actually kicks back to the tribe, but I would like to know that myself, and I'll do my research on it a little more, and I'll answer your question a little more.
All righty. Big Rob posts. I don't think this is a question for you. He says, "How many people are running? Are Big Rob? Are you talking about Creek District or just generally across all the races? Because in Creek District, there's 3 candidates running. It is Mr. McNac, it is the incumbent Joseph Hicks, and I believe Dodie Barnett is also running, and she has her Meet the Candidate video scheduled on the 17th. We don't have Mr. Hicks scheduled yet." Oh, we had another question pop up. Do you support a constitutional marriage equality amendment for same-sex couples?
Uh, um, I don't have a problem with it. With the same-sex marriage. I guess it's to each his own. But to get it involved in the tribe, they do it at a state level. I don't know, what the law is against it within the tribe. I didn't know that you can, if you get married within the tribe. I don't know if I don't know that, do they marry inside the tribe or on the tribal grounds? Or you know what I mean, like at the.
Well, I think what T.Y. Pearl's referring to is you can get a marriage license through the tribal district court here, and currently there's nothing in Creek Nation code that allows you to get a same-sex marriage license through the tribal court here.
But is there anything that says that you can't?
I don't know. I don't believe so. I would have to look that up. I don't think that there is a code that says you can't do it, but there's definitely not code that says you can do it. So
right. I mean, I know there are a lot of twin spirited. We've got a lot of twin spirited citizens. I don't have anything against it. I support you no matter who you are. You know what I mean? And if that's the life you choose to live, that's the life you choose to live. As long as you're
Right.
not.
Well, I think T.Y. Pearl's asking you, if you're on the council, are you going to vote for legislation that would let the citizens vote on that issue?
I think there could be, yes.
Okay. T.Y. Pearl asks, do you support funding the Jinx Dam?
The Jinx Dam, they're building a dam.
All right. Well, yes. Well, I guess the question there would be, do you support the tribe contributing significant funding towards building a dam in Jinx?
I don't know if a dam in Jinx would actually benefit anywhere, honestly, because they've already, the overflow that they actually have, if you actually follow it from Keystone all the way down to Bixby, they've got the flow the way it's supposed to be for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And if you dam it up there, you're going to block it up. It'll end up blocking it. Just to me, it did end up blocking up in Sand Springs and all the other creeks up that way. Bird Creek and all that stuff will actually back up. And if I don't know how it would work myself. I would have to see the plans and stuff, personally, but I don't, I don't know about a full 100%, funding of it, but I don't see a problem with the tribe, actually contributing to some on, actually contributing to fund a portion of it. But I don't know that would, I don't know how that. I don't know. I've seen too many, growing up in, grown up in Bixby. I've seen a lot of floods, that way. I've seen a lot of floods upstream, and I don't know. I don't know how, damming it there. I don't know how that would work, because you'd have to actually dig out other overflows, apart from that, like little coves and stuff within
Gotcha.
the community to actually catch that water. So where would I don't know. But I don't, honestly, to get to your answer your question, I don't see a problem in funding a portion of it, but I don't see, it's on our land, you know what I mean?
Right.
I could see funding a portion, but not a big majority of it.
Alrighty. I'm going to ask one more question because we are past the 26 minutes. And the question comes from T.Y. Pearl. Should freedmen descendants be eligible for Title VI Indian education funding?
I think if they're able to receive any of the other funding, JOM and stuff as well, I don't know. I don't see why they I don't see why they shouldn't receive benefits if they can, if it's proved within their bloodline, that they have the right quantum of blood level, then I don't see why they shouldn't.
Okay. I'm going to ask one more. I know I said that was the last one, but TY just squeezed this one in. What is your opinion on the city of Tulsa's Hooper appeal?
Hooper appeal. I'm sorry, I don't know. I've not read on that myself.
Well, the Hooper decision was, there was recently a 10th Circuit decision that said that the city of Tulsa couldn't write municipal tickets to tribal citizens, that they didn't have the jurisdiction. The Mayor G.T. Bynum of Tulsa appealed that to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court of the United States issued a stay on that decision until August the 2nd. I guess in a nutshell, do you think the city of Tulsa should be able to write tribal citizens municipal parking tickets or speeding tickets?
Is the city of Tulsa, are they being cross-trained like they do the other townships around the state, like Bristow? I know they're cross-trained. I know Sapulpa. There's other communities around that are actually cross-trained through law course that allow them to do that.
Yeah, I believe that, I think I don't know if they actually have their cross-deputization agreement in place. I think that they do, but the issue isn't so much that, it's that which court would handle these speeding tickets. Would it be the Tulsa Municipal Court, or would it be tribal court?
Well, if it's tribal court, it's a federal, it ends up being on a federal level, as opposed to a state level. Which ticket do you want? Do you want the federal, federal
Well, it
ticket,
wouldn't
or
be.
would you?
It's not a federal. The tribe has municipal code in place. Like the tribe has speeding tickets in place and parking tickets and all of that type of code has been put in place the past really since McGirt. So there's tribal code in place. The issue was that Tulsa. Well, we have some coverage on it. You can go back and check our YouTube channel because we're right at the end of the. It's kind of a big issue.
No, I'll look into it.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm sorry, T.Y. Pearl. I will. If you want to message me privately, dude, I encourage you. Just like anyone else that sees this, I encourage you. If you have any questions, please do get with me.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, sir. And I look forward to all of your developments in the campaign coming forward. I want to let everybody know out there we're right at 30 minutes, so we're going to wrap up today. But we do have Second Chief Del Beaver has his Meet the Candidate scheduled for this week, Thursday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. So you guys can tune in there and ask Second Chief any questions you want. And then we also have some more scheduled in the coming weeks. If you're watching this and you're a candidate and for some reason you didn't get my email to set up this video, you can email me at jmoore@mvskokemedia.com and we'll get you all scheduled up. I would want to encourage all of any candidates to try to get their video scheduled before August 17th because that's when absentee voters receive their ballots. So you would be for sure to know that the absentee voters are going to be able to see your video profile before they mail their ballot back in. With that being said, thanks for joining us today, guys, and thanks for all the great questions. And I guess we'll see you on Thursday.